Hello, friends. In December 2025, Congress approved a fiscal budget stopping the Air Force from retiring its outdated A-10 Warthogs. The National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2026 requires the Air Force to keep at least 103 operational A-10S until September 2026 and limits the retirement to only 59 aircraft. Congress's action has reignited debate over transferring these aircraft to Ukraine, a proposal that divides the Trump administration, the Air Force, Ukrainian leaders, and defense analysts. But what about us, simple mortals? It's chilling to imagine. Watching a few Warthogs handle a column of Z-tanks and armored vehicles with their 30mm cannons would be epic. Let's get to the point. The United States Air Force planned to retire the remaining 162 A-10S in fiscal year 2026, 3 years ahead of schedule. This ambitious timeline shows the institutional belief that the A-10, despite its legendary reputation with ground forces, is fundamentally unsuited for modern high-intensity conflicts with advanced opponents like Mordor or China. However, Congress, influenced by districts with A-10 squadrons and skepticism over Air Force modernization, decisively blocked the plan. Now, the Air Force's stance is clear. The A-10 is not able to survive on a contested battlefield, since it has to operate at low altitude with a maximum speed of about 700 kilometers per hour. Against opponents with advanced air defense systems like the S-400 Buckyum and Tor, a slow, low-flying platform is a very vulnerable target. So the A-10 would suffer enormous losses against integrated air defense systems with overlapping coverage. From the Air Force's perspective, institutional resources should be invested in platforms designed to survive in contested airspace, such as the F-35, which are next-generation air dominance fighters. The A-10 was good during the global war on terrorism, when the Taliban had little to defend themselves with, since their air defenses were scarce, unsophisticated, and fragmented. That scenario doesn't apply anymore. Additionally, keeping the A-10 comes with secondary costs, including hiring maintenance technicians, specialized supply chains, pilot training channels, and squadron infrastructure. From the United States Air Force's view, every dollar spent running the A-10 is one less for the F-35, F-16 pilot training or developing advanced systems. Ukraine's official stance has stayed the same since 2022, when the Ministry of Defense said the country doesn't need A-10S, but needs F-16s. Fighting Falcon. This preference is justified because Mordor has a dense air defense network across the entire theater, which includes both mobile and fixed systems, ranging from short-range point defense platforms to long-range strategic air defense. This has led to major losses for their Soviet-era Sukhoi 25 Frogfoot, which, like the A-10, flies low and slow over the battlefield. Ukrainian planners know the A-10 provides persistent presence, visual target confirmation, and strong low-speed maneuverability. But it needs a permissive air defense environment, and the Horde simply doesn't provide that environment. The A-10 boasts a powerful weapons package featuring the 30mm 30 Avenger cannon rockets and precision missile guns. Its effectiveness depends on being able to reach the target and execute the PASS without being attacked by air defense systems. Against Russian anti-aircraft missile systems, this is not guaranteed. For this reason, the Ukrainian Air Force has emphasized the need for speed, versatility, and sensor capability. An F-16 can fly at higher altitudes, avoiding less effective Russian short-range air defenses. It carries both air and ground ammunition, has air-to-air combat capabilities, and can quickly withdraw if needed. An A-10, on the other hand, is specialized only for close air support, which by design limits its speed. Therefore, it reflects a narrow set of capabilities for a country needing to address various threats. That said, Some operational assessments have indicated that the A-10 could indeed play a role in intercepting drones. In particular, it would use advanced precision kill weapon system guided rockets. These, combined with the A-10's long loiter time and large payload, would allow it to become a powerful drone hunter, covering the shacked approach routes to Ukrainian cities, freeing the Falcons for other, more complex missions. Trump's foreign policy is transactional, not ideological, so the transfer of the A-10 could fit into this framework if presented properly, since it's not an escalation, given that these are 50-year-old planes and it's not an indefinite transfer. Because of its short remaining service life, it saves costs for the United States Air Force and serves as a show of force without directly committing United States troops. The paradox is that Congress's decision to block the retirement of the A-10 has inadvertently created a narrow but genuine political opportunity for a transfer. If Congress mandates the Air Force keep over 100 without extra funding, transferring 20 to 30 Warthogs to an ally facing the same conflict the 20 to 30 was built for, it would face virtually no opposition from the United States Congress, which is mostly pro-Ukrainian. The specific argument from the United States Air Force would be, Congress has ordered us to keep these planes. We believe they are obsolete, and instead of spending hundreds of millions a year maintaining planes we will never use in a high-intensity conflict, we'll transfer excess inventory to an ally facing the exact type of conflict the A-10 was built for. This reduces costs for the United States and provides significant support for Ukraine's air defense. Trump can't easily dismiss these arguments without upsetting congressional Republicans, who have invested political capital in blocking the withdrawal. Even if political support exists, the operational challenges are substantial. Ukraine would require training programs for pilots, weapons officers, maintenance, and logistics personnel, although Ukrainian pilots have demonstrated a remarkable ability to absorb complex systems. Adding another type of aircraft requires more work and would take months to show results. If Mordor equips modified drones with R-160 air-to-air missiles platforms, like the A-10, without onboard radar or modern electronic warfare alerts, will be highly vulnerable. This would force defenders into ongoing upgrades and modernization, consuming limited and valuable resources. In the end, the decision will probably depend on the intensity of the Russian drone attacks. If daily incursions exceed 1,000 Shaheds, the need for a platform will be clearer and complications less significant. It would be a fitting farewell for a close air support aircraft, beloved by soldiers who watched it fly at the enemy, launching its classic the inescapable Mordor. If you want more content, subscribe to our Patreon for just $1 to access uncensored war videos. Visit our store to find items from top Ukrainian units. Each purchase directly supports United 24, contributing to reconstruction, civil aid, and defense. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel.